Can we begin? Okay. Okay. So, hi guys, and welcome to my session. I'm Dimitar, and as a EclipseCon first-timer, it's a pleasure for me to be here. And today I'm going to tell you how you can build native mobile applications with Eclipse Dirigible and Tabris.js. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you to go into the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and download the Tabris.js application, as you are going to be a part of the demo later on. If you can't scan the QR codes, you can just type Tabris.js in the search bar. And don't worry, you'll have a chance later. So if you can download now, you'll be able to again. So who am I? Well, first of all, I'm a student. I'm a last year student, hopefully, at the Sofia University back in Bulgaria, taking my bachelor's degree in computer science. I'm a developer. Since I was 15 or 16, I've been interested in coding, and my initial attempts were a total disaster. I learned through trial and error, but I think along the way, this made me a better programmer, and knowing how things work the way they work for myself made me better. And for over a year now, I've been a developer at SAP, and my passion and hobby has turned into a profession. Last but not least, as most developer, I'm an eager learner. And since childhood, we're curious, but it's a matter of whether you stay curious that you continue to improve yourself and become better at what you do. Today, the 26th of October, what's so special about this day? For most people around the world, nothing really, but for the people in Bulgaria, we celebrate two things. The first thing is the beginning of winter, and the second thing is my name day. So I should be organizing a party when I get back home, and as tradition, my parties tend to get pretty wild. And there's a little catch on the name days in Bulgaria. There's this weird tradition that you don't invite people, rather they come uninvited, on one condition though, they must be bringing beers. So if any of you guys decide to stop by and say hi, be sure to bring beer. I'm all for this type of hosting, but still I need to prepare myself to know how many chairs I'm going to need, how much food I'm going to need, and so on and so forth. And what better way to have the best of both worlds, both not invite people and know who's coming, than to tell people to register, and this way I can view who's coming and can prepare myself better. Well, nowadays, everybody has a mobile device or some other portable device that they carry around. So I could build a mobile application. But for this mobile application to work, it needs a backend service that processes the requests coming from the mobile application and, for example, stores the data somewhere in a database. Okay, well, the two major platforms that most people use are iOS and Android. On the Android side, on the iOS side, to develop an iOS application, you'd need a Mac. So as a student, I can't afford a Mac. And this cuts the expenses for my name day in half, pretty much. So I won't be having people with iOS. On the Android side, the cool thing about Android Studio is that it runs on all major platforms. But if you're a person like me who has an iPhone and can't run their application on a real device, you need to run it in an emulator. And boy, if you have a slow PC, you're in for a treat because emulators takes up a lot of RAM. So I needed something that can build mobile and backend simultaneously and not be expensive and not be harsh on my PC. And here, Eclipse Dirigible came, answering my prayers. So simply put, Eclipse Dirigible is a cloud development platform that provides the tools needed for you to develop your applications super fast. And to top that all off, it supports mobile development in the cloud, and it supports developing mobile applications for all major platforms, and it provides native widgets, UI, look, and feel. And it does that by using Tabris.js, the framework for developing native mobile applications using JavaScript. So now we're just going to build this application. And if you haven't downloaded the Tabris.js application, you can go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to set up my environment to build this application right now. I'm going to open the Eclipse Dirigible web IDE right here. And okay, it's a clean workspace. Hope you can see that. And under the Workspace Explorer, I'm going to create a new project. And I'm going to give the name day, as this is what I'm going to do, as this is what I'm going to use it for. Click Next. And from the available templates for UI generation, I'm going to select the blank application, as I don't need any predefined UIs. So I click Finish. And here on the left, we have the basic dirigible project structure with the data structures, mobile application, scripting services, and so on. So for people to register, I need a basic data structure. So I'm going to create a new data structure, and I'm going to select a relational database table. Click Next, and click Add to Add Column. Now, in this dialog, the first column, of course, it will be the ID. The type will be an integer. It will not be null, and it will be the primary key. Okay. So the next two things we're going to need is, for example, the name and the age of the person who is going to come. We click Add, type in name. We'll give it a varchar with standard 255 length and not null. Click OK, and the last column is the age column. We'll give this type an integer, again not null. Click OK, and select Next. Now we have to name our table. We're going to name it person.table, as we're registering people. Click Finish. And as you can see, under data structures, we have our table right here. And on the right, it is displayed as a JSON definition of a table. Now for this table, we want to expose a RESTful API and to generate a library providing basic root operations on the database. So hit New, Scripting Service. And from the available templates, I'm going to select JavaScript Entity Service on Table. Click Next. I'm going to select the table that I just created, person. Click Next. And I'm going to give this service a name. Let's call it person.js, for example. Click Finish. And under the project tree, under scripting services, you see that Eclipse Dirigible generated for us an entity service, the RESTful service, the Swagger API documentation, and a library providing basic root operations. Now comes the interesting part, that we are going to create the mobile application. So for this entity, you can generate user interface. So we right-click on the entity, and under Generate, select User Interface for Entity Service. Now, from the available templates, as you can see, we have two templates providing mobile applications. One is the Create Entities, and the other is List and Manage Entities. Now registration is creating a new way, so that's the perfect case for us. Select Next, and from the fields, I'm going to select the two fields that I want to be visible. The ID won't be visible as it is a primary key. And here for label, this is the text that, so we'll type your age. Okay, Next. And we must give the file name that is going to be loaded upon instancing Tabris.js. Basically, Tabris.js is going to look for this file when starting the application. So we're going to give it the name of register, and we're going to put it in the package register.js. Sorry, the package is register, the file name is register.js. Hit next, and this is the title of the application that is going to be displayed on top. So we give the title register for name day, and click finish. Okay, so as you can see under mobile applications, under the package register, Eclipse Dirigible generated for us the basic structure of a Tabris.js project. It has the node modules, the package.json descriptor file that has the version of Tabris.js, and the main file of the application that is register.js. Now, to make it a bit more personalized, we're going to open register.js, and for the success message, instead of successfully created record, we're going to type in a custom message that is, you have successfully registered for the name day, for example. Okay, hit save, control and test to save, and it's the register application is ready. Now, the easiest way for me to view who's coming is to build another application, super simple as this one. And again, right-click on the entity, hit generate, and under user interface, we'll select the mobile list and manage entities. This will provide us with a list of the entities in the database, and we can edit or delete them. Hit next. Again, select all the columns we want to be visible for editing. This time we won't be putting any labels. And again, give the main file a name. This will be a manage.js, for example. And it will be under the package manage. Okay, next. And for the title of the application, it's going to be view who's coming. Okay, click finish. And under mobile applications, you see another application that is in the package manage. Again, you have the package.json and the main file that is going to be loaded upon startup. Okay, so unfortunately, due to internet issues, I have to run this on localhost, but still you can participate. It's just a quite tedious process to enter the IP address. I'm just disabling some firewalls and just see if I can connect to display my phone. Okay, so full screen. Okay, we open the Tabris.js application. It looks like this after you've logged in. And on the URL tab, you should enter this horrifying URL. That is my IP address with port 8080. And under mobile, we'll type the application register. Register. Yes, you have to log in first. Sorry. Yes. It requires your GitHub account, I think. I'm just going to wait a second. Okay, so after I've put in the URL, I click connect, and as you can see, we have our basic form with the title we've put in, register for name day, and the labels we've entered. your name day into your age. I'll just register a fake user, for example, George, and we'll set his age to be 25, for example. Okay, hit save, and as you can see, our message that we've put is prompted. So I can now go and view from my management application who has registered. I swipe from right to left to go to the home screen of the Tabris.js. And now again under URL, I'll put, instead of register, manage. Okay, click connect. And as you can see, Ned and George have registered. On the right side, these are the IDs of the records. And on the left, we have the first and the second column of the table. So you can go into George, for example. You see these tiles. Now, for example, we can change his age from 25 to 23. Click save, and it's updated. And if somebody else registered in the meantime, I can pull down to refresh. Nobody's registered. So you can also swipe to delete. I'll just swipe, and you have two options, remove or undo, and I'll just hit remove. And this way I just removed the record from the database. So if I just go to the Dirigible instance and get all entities right here from person.js, as you can see, we have only one record as we just deleted George. So this was the demo, and now I have just a couple more things to say. Back to the presentation. Okay. Now, what exactly is Dirigible? Well, if you do a quick Google search, it will tell you that it's an airship, which is not quite useful. Actually, it's part of the Eclipse Cloud Development top-level project alongside Orion, Che, and Flux, and it provides you with the development tools needed and the runtime for you to build your applications right in your web browser. This makes your browser sort of your new IDE, where you can develop and run your applications instead of just being an HTML renderer. Now, Eclipse Dirigible believes that in-system programming model is the path, and it provides you the shortest development turnaround time for you to get on with the tasks at hand. Dirigible also leverages rapid application development by providing you with fast prototyping, giving you custom wizards and editors, enforcing best practices, and providing you with predefined templates and reusable artifacts. Much more than that, Eclipse Dirigible has database management in a database perspective with an SQL console for you to execute your native queries. You can generate then scripting services for these data structures that you have created, exposing a RESTful API and generating a library providing basic root operations. Most of the time you need something more complex, for example, asynchronous triggers or flows or listeners, and Eclipse Dirigible provides you with that. And you can also write your user interfaces using Bootstrap, AngularJS, and OpenUI 5. But your applications wouldn't be complete without having some nice documentation, and Dirigible can also do that. You can easily import and export project into and out of an instance, and you have the tools needed to monitor your application. Also, you get end-to-end coverage of the development cycle, so this makes Eclipse Dirigible DevOps ready. So, as a part of the definition of Dirigible, the adjective means capable of being steered, guided, or directed. And that's what we believe in. We believe that you're free to express yourself and that you're in control of what you can, of what you build. You are in control behind the keyboard, and there is no limit. Now, these are the main channels that you can find us and contact us. The main page, the main homepage, the Facebook and Twitter channels, and the open source GitHub repository. If you like the session, you can go to eclipsecon.org and vote for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for the nice talk. So are there any questions?
Is it really your name day today?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Right. Is Dirigible the IDE you showed to the browser? Is it based on Eclipse Wrap, or is it something else?
Yes, it's based on Eclipse Wrap.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you again
Thank
for
you.
the nice talk. And so this was the last talk.